Have you ever wondered how the USA became the wealthiest nation? To understand this, we need to travel back in time to the birth of the United States on July 4th, 1776. This is the day when the United States declared itself free from the shackles of the British Empire, marking a pivotal moment in the nation's history. The United States was not the only territory yearning for independence. Many regions around the world aspired to shake off their colonial rulers and build their own nations. But the United States was the first to successfully claim its independence from England, and that set the stage for a unique trajectory. In the grand scheme of history, the United States was a newborn, a fledgling nation with vast potential and uncharted territories. The struggles and triumphs of its early years were instrumental in shaping the country's future. The United States had to navigate complex political landscapes, build relationships with foreign powers, and establish its own identity on the global stage. The Declaration of Independence was more than just a document. It was a statement of intent. The United States was ready to chart its own course, to build a nation based on the principles of liberty, equality, and justice. It was ready to experiment with democracy in a world dominated by monarchies and empires. But breaking free from the British Empire was just the beginning. The United States had to build a nation from scratch to create institutions, laws, and a system of governance that reflected its values. It had to forge a national identity, a shared sense of purpose that would unite its diverse population. The birth of the United States was a momentous event, a turning point in history, but it was just the first step in a long journey. The United States had to overcome numerous challenges and seize opportunities to transform from a fledgling nation into the world's wealthiest country. Gaining independence, even being the first to do so from England, was nothing really that special in and of itself. Plenty of countries have done this to varying degrees of success. But what set the United States apart was what it did after gaining independence. The journey from 1776 to the present day is a story of resilience, innovation, and unyielding spirit. And that's the story we're going to explore. The first real boon that set America on the path of prosperity came from a genius bit of forethought by its leadership at the time, God Emperor Washington. George Washington, the country's first president, was a beacon of leadership during the War of Independence. His strategic mind and determination were instrumental in the fight against the British Empire. But it's not only his military exploits that mark him as a great leader. It was also his political acumen and his understanding of the importance of a peaceful transition of power. In a move unprecedented in its time, Washington chose to step down from the presidency after serving 2 terms. He was in a position of immense power, the likes of which could have easily led to a dictatorship. But he chose democracy instead. He knew that for the nation to truly thrive, it needed to be led by more than just one man. So he passed the baton to John Adams, his vice president, and set the standard for a democratic transition of power that has been followed by every subsequent president. This decision was monumental. It was a testament to Washington's leadership and his commitment to the values of democracy. But more than that, it was a move that would set the United States on a path of stability and prosperity. By ensuring a peaceful transition of power, Washington positioned the country as a beacon of democracy in a world where such a concept was still novel. This move did not just benefit the United States domestically. It also sent a powerful message to the rest of the world. It showed that the United States was a country where power was not seized but passed on peacefully. This set the stage for the United States to emerge as a world leader in the years to come. So when we think about the prosperity of the United States, it's important to remember that it's not just about the vast resources or the industrious people. It's also about the wise decisions made by its leaders, like Washington, who laid the foundation for the country's success. Most countries in the world today still get democratic elections awfully wrong, and civil wars and mass civil unrest is no rarity. The USA's rise to economic dominance didn't stop there. It was the Industrial Revolution that truly set the stage for the USA's economic growth. This period, spanning from the mid-18th to the late 19th century, was a time of rapid industrial growth and societal change. It was a time when the USA transitioned from an agrarian economy into a manufacturing powerhouse. The invention of steam power, the cotton gin, and the telegraph, among many others, revolutionized the way of life and work. These innovations led to a surge in productivity, which in turn led to an increase in the country's gross domestic product. But it wasn't just the machines that were transforming the landscape. The Industrial Revolution brought with it a shift in the workforce. People moved from rural areas to cities in search of jobs in newly established factories. This urbanization led to a rise in consumer demand, further fueling the growth of the manufacturing sector. And let's not forget about the railroads. The construction of railroads across the country opened up new markets for goods, allowing products to be transported faster and cheaper. This connectedness, both within the country and with the rest of the world, gave the USA a significant edge in the global economy. But the Industrial Revolution wasn't all about factories and railroads. It also marked the birth of the American dream, the belief that anyone, regardless of their background, could achieve success through hard work. This ethos attracted immigrants from around the world, adding to the country's labor force and contributing to its economic growth. The impact of the Industrial Revolution on the USA's economy cannot be overstated. It laid the foundation for the country's transition into a global economic leader. The USA's manufacturing sector emerged as a major contributor to its GDP, setting the pace for the rest of the world. The Industrial Revolution ushered in a new era of prosperity for the USA, setting the stage for its future economic dominance. The 20th century was a golden era for the USA's economy. As the calendar pages turned over to the 1900s, the United States was primed for an economic explosion. The groundwork laid during the Industrial Revolution was bearing fruit, and the nation was on the cusp of an era of unprecedented growth and prosperity. The 20th century was characterized by technological innovation on a scale never seen before. This innovation fueled the economic boom as new industries sprang up and existing ones were revolutionized. From the birth of the automobile industry to the rise of the tech giants, each wave of innovation brought with it a surge in economic activity. The retail sector also experienced phenomenal growth during the 20th century. As the nation's wealth increased, so too did the purchasing power of its citizens. This led to a boom in consumer spending, which in turn fueled the growth of the retail sector. With each passing decade, the retail sector became an increasingly important part of the economy. But it wasn't just the retail sector that grew. The entire economy expanded at a breathtaking pace. The United States became the world's leading industrial power, and its GDP grew at an average annual rate of nearly 3%. This economic growth was so rapid and so sustained that by the end of the 20th century, the United States had become the wealthiest nation on Earth. This wealth wasn't just confined to a few individuals or corporations. It was widely distributed, with the average American enjoying a standard of living that was the envy of the world. The middle class expanded, home ownership rates soared, and millions of Americans were able to secure a comfortable retirement. In short, the 20th century was a time of extraordinary economic growth for the United States. It was a time when the nation's economy grew faster and more consistently than at any other time in its history. It was a time when the United States truly became the economic powerhouse that it is today. The 20th century saw the USA become the wealthiest nation on Earth, with its economy dwarfing those of other countries. Today, the USA's economy is as strong as ever. The nation's wealth and influence continue to be a marvel, not just to the layman, but also to seasoned macroeconomists. The figures that tell this story are more than just GDP and trade balance numbers. They paint a picture of an economy that is far from ordinary. Take, for instance, the U.S. consumer retail sector. This economic powerhouse alone is larger than all but 9 of the world's national economies. That's the equivalent of a single industry in the U.S., dwarfing entire countries' economies. That's not normal, that's extraordinary. And then there's the matter of the U.S. market. It's the largest, most influential consumer market in the world. It's the golden goose that foreign companies from Europe, Asia, and beyond are ceaselessly striving to tap into. They recognize that success in the U.S. market often equates to global success, and they are eager to get a piece of that pie. But the U.S. economy is more than just a gargantuan consumer market. It's also a hotbed of innovation and industry. American companies aren't just dominating their domestic market, they're leading industries and economies all over the world. From Silicon Valley's tech giants to Wall Street's financial institutions, U.S. companies are setting the pace in numerous sectors, shaping global trends and standards. Yet it's not just about the size of the economy or the dominance of American companies. The U.S. economy is also a beacon of stability, thanks to robust regulatory frameworks and the strength of its institutions. These factors provide the necessary environment for businesses to thrive and for the economy to grow. The sheer scale and complexity of the U.S. economy is awe-inspiring. It's a testament to the country's innovative spirit, its industrious people, and its effective leadership. It's a story of remarkable growth and enduring strength. The U.S.A.'s economy is too large, with too many facets to explore in a short video. So, what does the future hold for the U.S.A.'s economy? It's a question that has been asked countless times, with answers as diverse as the people who ponder it. As we look ahead, it's clear that the landscape of the U.S. economy will continue to evolve, shaped by a myriad of factors both within and beyond its borders. One of the key trends we can expect to see is the continued importance of innovation. The United States has long been a hotbed for technological advancements and entrepreneurial spirit, and this is unlikely to change. From Silicon Valley to the heartland, American companies and institutions will continue pushing the boundaries of what's possible, driving economic growth in sectors like technology, healthcare, and renewable energy. But it's not just about what's happening domestically. The U.S. economy is inextricably linked to the global economy. As other nations grow and develop, new markets and opportunities will emerge. Countries like China and India, with their vast populations and burgeoning middle classes, represent significant potential for American businesses. Navigating these markets effectively will be crucial for the U.S. to maintain its economic prominence. At the same time, these global shifts also pose challenges. The rise of emerging economies, coupled with the potential for increased protectionism and trade disputes, could create headwinds for the U.S. Additionally, issues like income inequality, climate change, and the future of work in an increasingly automated world are all pressing concerns that will shape the trajectory of the U.S. economy. Let's not forget, however, that the U.S. has faced and overcome numerous challenges in its history. Its economy is characterized by resilience and adaptability, driven by a culture of innovation and a commitment to the principles of free market capitalism. Only time will tell what the future holds for the U.S.A.'s economy, but one thing is certain: it will continue to play a pivotal role in the global economy. Whether as a leader in technological innovation, a major player in global trade, or as the world's largest consumer market, the U.S. economy is sure to remain a force to be reckoned with in the decades to come. Let's take a moment to recap what we've covered today. We've journeyed through time, tracing the economic evolution of the United States from its birth to the present day, and even glimpsed into possible future trends. Our journey began with the birth of the U.S.A., a country that declared its independence on July 4, 1776. The first boon came under the leadership of George Washington, who, after winning the War of Independence, took the monumental step of peacefully transferring power to John Adams. This step, a rarity even in contemporary times, laid the foundation of a democratic society, setting the U.S.A. on a path of prosperity. Then we moved into the era of the Industrial Revolution and beyond, a period that saw the U.S.A. transform from an agrarian society to a bustling industrial powerhouse. The country capitalized on its vast resources, innovative spirit, and expanding infrastructure to fuel economic growth and attract waves of immigrants seeking better opportunities. Next, we explored the 20th century boom, a period that firmly established the U.S.A. as a global economic titan. The post-war World War II era saw the U.S.A. emerge as the world's leading industrial power, its economy bolstered by technological advancements, increased consumer spending, and the rise of multinational corporations. In the modern era, we discussed how the U.S.A.'s economy has evolved into a complex, multifaceted entity. Today, its consumer retail sector is larger than all but 9 of the world's biggest national economies. With California alone boasting a GDP larger than the United Kingdom, the scale of the U.S.A.'s wealth and influence is truly staggering. Looking towards the future, we considered potential trends and challenges. While the U.S.A. continues to lead in technological innovation and maintains its status as the world's largest consumer market, it also faces challenges such as income inequality, climate change, and economic shifts brought about by globalization and technological advancements. In many ways, the U.S.A.'s rise to economic dominance is a story of a nation maximizing its potential. It's a story of political foresight, relentless innovation, and unyielding spirit. But it's also a story that highlights the complexities and challenges that come with such immense wealth and power. It's important to remember that while the USA's economic journey is unique, it also shares common threads with other nations' economic histories. Each country's economic narrative is shaped by its unique circumstances, resources, and choices. The USA's story serves as a rich case study, providing valuable insights that can inform our understanding of economic development and growth. So, what can we take away from this exploration? The USA's economic story is a testament to the power of innovation, the importance of strong leadership, and the role of economic policy in shaping a nation's destiny. It's a narrative that underscores the complexity and dynamism of economies, reminding us that they are not static entities but ever-evolving systems shaped by a multitude of factors. The USA's rise to economic dominance is a fascinating story and one that continues to evolve. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the history of the USA's economy.